Okay, messages from Spirit. James, I'm starting with you because as soon as I finished my members at around 1:30 today, I went upstairs to just kind of like chill and relax and like watch a little TikTok or something like that. And I could not. There was a gentleman back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, asking me if we were starting. When are we starting? When are we starting? He's in uniform. He keeps saluting me. I'm not sure who this is to you yet, but we are going to find out. Do you know who the gentleman, the older, I don't know if it's your grandfather or your father that's in uniform on the other side? Now, what I mean by uniform is that when I see that salute, it means that they had a connection to a uniform of some sort, fire, police, military, ambulance, something.
Yeah, I had an uncle that passed that was in the army before.
Got ya?
He passed roughly a year ago.
Yeah. He paid me a visit before he
Oh,
got here. I didn't know who that I didn't I know it wasn't for Christine. I knew or Christina because I've read for her a lot. So I know who her loved ones
okay.
are and I'm like, I don't recognize this guy. It has to be for James because there's only one other person coming to this group today.
Yeah.
Who was it that you wanted me to connect to because there's a number of other people there as well.
My son that passed when he was when my girlfriend was 5.5 months pregnant.
Got ya. Okay. Interesting. Well, he's there with your uncle, the man in uniform, and I think it's a grandmother figure because there's a mother figure there as well. When you asked
Um,
about the baby, I saw all of them with the baby in their arms.
my uncle, the one that in the uniform you talk about, his mother is in heaven. My grandmother, she passed when I was a kid.
So they're coming through together, all of them. Now, like I said, this is important because they need you to know that he's not alone on that side, not for a second. Okay, are you ready to do this?
Yeah.
All right, so I want you to sit with both feet flat on the floor for a minute.
Okay.
I want you to close your eyes and then I want you to take a deep breath. Picturing that deep breath starting at your big toe, slowly pulling it all the way up through your body, and then blow it directly towards me and give me a minute to focus. Wow. Okay. I'm getting a lot. Hold on. Slow down, kiddo. Slow down. Slow down. Huh. Okay, so a lot of information came through there, and I'm not even sure where to start. First of all, you need to know that the child that you asked about is experienced zero pain, zero sadness, zero trauma whatsoever. This soul comes through so high vibrational, full of energy, talking about how grateful he was to have even that experience. He was showing me being talked to in the belly. That you put freaking headphones on the belly.
Uh, I think my son used to put his iPad like for him to listen.
Do you see what I'm saying? I can't know that, but this is what the baby that's coming through is saying. Because you're talking about a 5 month old in utero baby. I'm understanding this
Yes.
correctly.
Yeah, it was about 5.5
Yeah.
months. Yeah, in the belly.
See, he's like, I had the most beautiful life. It was very short, but all I felt coming through was love. And like they talked to me, they even put like music and stuff up, and I heard stuff. And what he was saying was, don't cry, Daddy. I'm coming back. You just got to try again. That body wasn't going to work. That just wasn't going to work. It's kind of like when you go and you buy a car, and then before you get it off the lot, one of the tires fall off. You go, I'm not taking this one. I'll wait for the next one. Thanks. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Sorry, I was just taking a sip of my drink.
He also showed me baby footprints and handprints.
Um, I have his footprint. We have like a copy of his footprint, but I also have it tattooed on me.
Yeah, that was my next thing is the tattoo. So you actually got to hold him then.
No, unfortunately didn't. My girlfriend did, but I was too upset at the time to hold him.
Well, it's interesting the way that you phrase that because the way that I heard it was exactly the way that you said it, like a tattoo of a handprint or a thumbprint. But see, my brain didn't make sense of that. I'm like, no, if they were 5 months along, there's no way he could have had his handprint tattooed on him. So I'm like, tattoos and handprints, but you literally did.
Yeah.
He
Sorry.
also keeps showing me a hat, and I'm not sure what's with the hat.
A hat. They gave him a hat like to wear, like like newborns get like in the hospital, like the I
Is
don't know
he
what
in
you.
an urn?
Yes.
I feel like somebody's put their hat on his urn.
Uh, Not that I'm aware of. I can.
It's like, oh, this is your uncle stepping forward. Hold on. See, this is what happens when they're all coming together like this. Your uncle is giving you his hat. I'm like, I thought it was the baby at first. This is your uncle. He took his hat off and he put it over the urn. And as soon as I said that out loud, I could feel the love and the protection all around it. He's with your son's soul on that side.
Yeah, my uncle did have like a hat that he'd wear for like uh gatherings or whatever, but like that he would wear that he had from the army. I don't know what you call it. Like it's one of the fancy hats, I guess. I don't know the name for it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if I'm not helpful in that sense.
No, that's okay. What he's doing is he's bringing up an item that was special to him to kind of connect it with your son to let you know that they're together on the other side.
Yeah.
It feels like it was a little bit ago because your son keeps saying, "Dad, come on. You got to try again. I want to come back."
It was just under a year coming up in November. Well, in a few weeks, November 8th.
Do you understand the reassurance that they're trying to give you of please don't give up?
Yeah, I understand. It's just hard, obviously losing anyone, but just
Yeah.
the whole experience.
Set this down. So I'm seeing the two dates close together. Okay, so here's what's going on. Your uncle's kind of switching over here. He's like, "Come on, I need to talk to my son. I need to talk to the boy. I keep hearing the boy." Um, and he's showing me two roses, like ba-boom, ba-boom. The rose is my symbol for birthday, anniversary, or a date that happens once a year. And he's showing me two, ba-boom, ba-boom, back to back. So if either we're coming up to the time of year where there's two very important dates coming up, or he passed around a very important date, or there's something very specific about two dates close together. Do you know what he's talking about?
My uncle is talking
Yes.
about it. Two important dates. Like I know, like I said, my son passed away almost a year ago in a few weeks, but
Got
the
ya.
only thing close to that would be Remembrance Day, but like maybe because he was in like he celebrated it every year, my uncle. Like he would always attend like the ceremonies.
That's exactly it. Okay, I just got it. And
That's the
because
only thing
you,
I could think of.
no, but listen, this is what I love about spirit. Sometimes this is why I call them puzzle pieces. It takes a minute sometimes to put them together to see the big picture, right? What did he do? He showed me your son's urn and he put his hat on your son's urn. And then he showed me that there was two dates very close together. Your son passed right around the time of no, of like
Remembrance Day.
Remembrance Day, which was an extremely important date to your uncle who was in the military, who right away showed up in uniform before we even connected here and has been pacing through my house haunting me before we even sat down. The reason why he's doing that is because spirit will. So I'll tell you it this way. My dad or my grandmother passed away on May 13th, 2010. My dad, her son, then passed away on May 13th, 2021, exactly 11 years later to the day. Spirit doesn't have a spiritual body or a physical body to use speech to communicate with you. They use signs and symbols and synchronicities. And so, what they do when they coordinate dates like that, that's their way of letting you know. For that was my grandma's way of letting me know that she came to get my dad because he passed on the exact same day she did. That's like her saying, "Don't worry, honey, I came to get him." Your baby passing away right around Remembrance Day was your uncle's way of saying this is, and him putting that hat on the urn. He's like, boy, he passed around this date because we were trying to give you comfort to let you know that we are together on the side. He is okay.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. It does make sense.
Did you guys just move?
No,
They're talking about a move.
2 years ago, roughly, we moved to where we are now, currently.
So you've moved since your uncle was here?
Since my uncle passed, you mean? Sorry.
Yes.
Uh, yes, we moved
Because,
after.
pardon?
We moved after his passing. Like,
That's what I mean. See, when you come to somebody like me, your loved ones get a chance to talk to you. This is what I mean when I say they don't care. I don't get to know the backstory why they're saying what they're saying. But if you moved, they're like, "Oh my God, you moved! I love the house, boy!" And so they don't care. It was 2 years ago. It was after he passed.
oh, okay.
He's talking about helping you with that. That there were some things that he did to kind of break through an obstacle that was in your path to put you in the right place at the right moment at the right time. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to figure out what it means.
So, well, I'm going to try to help you with that. So, what it tells me is that there was probably some kind of obstacle before you moved. Like, I don't know if you were stuck somewhere for a long time, you really weren't happy there, or it took a while to find the right place or something like that. What I do know is that when Spirit gives you a message like that, it means that they helped. They use their energy to kind of put you in the right place at the right moment to get what you've asked for. Does that make
Oh, I get
sense?
what you're saying. Well, we did have
Yes.
took us a while to find a place. Like we moved like an hour away from where we were,
Mm-hmm.
and we took us a while to get a place. But then obviously we found one that was right for us.
And
And
it was
then
perfect for you. And it was maybe even a little bit less or than you were expecting or something like that. Because
uh
he said that for a place like yours, you would expect that it would be way more expensive, but I got you a deal, boy.
oh yeah, like it is a good deal for what we have like for rent. Excuse me.
Okay, your grandma's breaking through here. Usually I don't let all of them come through at the same time, but sometimes you just can't stop it.
Hmm.
She's validating how she passed. So she's jumping up and down, showing me that she has free mobility on that side. There is absolutely no more pain. She's showing me the spinning thoughts, which is my sign for either not being able to communicate before I passed, dizziness. Sometimes it can indicate depression, but I don't think that's the case here. And sometimes they will show me spinning like that if they actually were spinning before they passed. But by the way she's making me feel, it just feels like she slowly but surely was drained of that energy. And then for her, it was a more peaceful passing. Does that make sense?
See, I was young when she passed. I believe, around 8 years old, so 32 years ago, roughly. And she passed away in the hospital, is what I remember, but I don't recall from what she passed from. Like, I know she was sick, obviously, but I couldn't recall what was wrong with her.
Well, there was probably something where she couldn't move so well, or she was in a bunch of pain
I know she
because,
couldn't walk, like, she had like an electric scooter
do you
or
see what
whatever.
I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
very specific, these guys, and sometimes they're tricky. And what they will do is they'll give you a message that maybe you can't validate right now so that you'll share it with your family, and your family will understand the message because they lived it.
Yeah.
She wants you to, is this your mom's mom?
Yes.
Because she wants you to let your mom know that she's okay and that she's not in any pain anymore whatsoever.
Yeah. I'll let her know.
Is your mom a bit of a distance or a space away from you, hun?
She's back in the city. Like she's like an hour away. Like
Yeah.
she lives like in Ottawa, and we're just outside of Ottawa now.
Because they said it's about time we got together. And then I heard road trip.
Oh. I'm going there this week for a visit.
Seriously. See, this is what I mean. They know. This is why they show it to me, whatever way they have to show it to me to get me to say what they need me to say so you understand that they are in your life. They're not missing anything. Your son, your uncle, your grandma, they're all there watching over you. They see everything you're doing. They know you're going to visit your mom. They're going with you. They'll be the invisible passengers in the back seat. Make sure you check those tires. I don't know if this is winter tires or if you got a leaky air tire, but your uncle just kicked your tire and said you got to do that first. Do you know
Well,
what
I
he's
will
talking?
check. We haven't got new tires yet, but I will check them.
I think you need, I don't know if it's snow tires. You guys are still warm out there. We have snow out here in Calgary today. Yay.
Oh, really? No,
Hmm.
we're still warm. It's like 20 degrees today, but going back to normal
It's
in the
funny.
next
So
couple
he's
weeks.
like, you got time then. You got time. I think he's talking snow tires.
No, yeah, I think we do for now.
Slow this down. Are you and your son's mother still together, hun?
Yes.
I see three, and I don't know if that means there's three of you in the house or you have three children.
Yeah, there's three of us. We have a son who's 3 years
Oh,
old.
huh. Got yeah. So three is even more meaningful here. There is three of you in the house, as I thought saw three bodies, and I heard the child, like I was feeling children and three. So that's what I was like, is this three children or what does that mean? There's three of you in the house and your son is three. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Okay. See, I can't know that. They're telling me this as a
Yeah.
way to let you know and give you reassurance that they know this. And here's the thing, they just showed me this. Oh, this is incredible. Did you overcome an addiction, hun?
I used to smoke, but I quit 6 years ago, I guess. If that's an addiction. Well, it is an addiction, but that's the only thing I overcame.
Because they're showing me this, which is my symbol for the breaking of an addiction. And while that's a big one, it doesn't feel that that's exactly what they're talking about. Hold on. Because we can be addicted to a lot more than just substances, right?
Yeah. Mm.
Your uncle is playing the song Mighty Good Man in my head. Your grandma's showing me the pinky finger, where the pinky finger is my symbol that somebody has more love and nurturing and parenting ability in their pinky finger than some people do in their whole body. So when the dead are showing me those kinds of signs, it's their way of letting you know that they're very proud of the kind of father that you are. But again, they say that emphasizing what you have overcome to be that father. Does that make sense? Maybe addiction isn't the right word, but they're showing me what you have had to overcome to be the parent that you are today. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. I can't figure the reference, I guess, in my life, that what it
Oh,
would
I know
be.
why. I know exactly why. See, you ask the question, they give me the answer. Because you're hard on yourself. Because they hear your thoughts. As soon as you said that, he goes, because I hear everything you say in here. And It feels so incredibly important to you that you are a good dad in this world. Slow that down. Not everybody has that skill. You realize that.
Yeah.
And your uncle just said, I want you to know that bad parents don't go to bed at night wishing and praying to be better parents. Only good parents do that. There's no such thing as a perfect parent. And you're doing an amazing job, and he's so incredibly proud of the father you become and that you have become, and that there is more babies coming. He's like, you guys, you can be sad, or you can say, you know what, thank you for the life that we had with you, because I'm telling you, your son on the other side is celebrating the life that he had. He's talking about the most perfect existence where all he felt was love. He never felt an ounce of pain or hate or any trauma in his entire life. He passed safely in God's hands before he ever experienced any of it. All he heard was you guys loving him and like playing music for him and all of that. And there's other souls over there that are so excited to join your family, but they can't join your family if you are if you grieve too long. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's I'm not over it, obviously.
I know, it takes time, but I promise you he's okay. And he kind of is acting as like a guardian angel in your world. So what that means is sometimes the soul, every single soul has a purpose. You understand? It's just not every soul's purpose is not to live to 100 years. If we were all guaranteed 100 years, this would be a very boring life, I promise you. Every soul has a purpose. And sometimes a soul will incarnate into our world to create an attachment to our family. And then they kind of help us from the other side. Kind of like your uncle was trying to help you find a house, putting you in the right place at the right moment at the right time to line up with exactly what you were looking for. Your son is now acting as like a guardian angel over his siblings on the other side, protecting them and guiding them in just a little bit of a different way. And it feels like he brought you here to me today around this time of year of when he passed so that you can start speaking his language, because he's not gone. He's invisible, but he's not gone. And if you understand how to speak his language of synchronicity and alignment, then you will always be able to feel his presence, because it becomes mathematically impossible to be fluke, random, or chance. Have you been finding the coins? He just keeps showing me the coins over and over and over and over and over again.
Who, my uncle or
No,
my
your
uh,
son.
coins?
So, have you ever heard the saying, pennies from heaven or dimes from heaven?
No, I haven't.
See, if you've never heard it before, then you don't understand or recognize it as a message. And if you don't recognize and understand their message and their communication and their signs and symbols, then it's meaningless. I could write you a message in Chinese and show it to you. And if you can't read Chinese, it does me no good to keep showing you the same message, does it?
Yeah.
Your son is not gone. He doesn't speak English. He speaks energy, synchronicity, and alignment. So there's an old saying called pennies from heaven or dimes from heaven. And the reason that saying exists is because your loved ones use coins when they want you to know that they're around. Why? I think it's because coins are readily available. They're all over the place, right? So, as the saying goes, when you find a penny, pick it up. All day long, you have good luck. There, it is your loved ones from heaven letting you know that they're with you at that exact moment. So pay attention when you get out of the store to pick up some milk on the way home, when you're, doing the laundry and a dime falls out and lands at your feet. That is your son's way of saying, Daddy, I'm right here. I'm right here with you right now. He said he's been surrounding you in the birds a lot lately, especially around right now. I can hear the magpies. Do you understand that?
uh, Trying to think birds. uh, Magpies. I know I see them while I'm traveling with work, like when I I work on trains, and we see
Mm-hmm.
them a lot. Like we drive through like obviously like wooded areas. This is the place. Those are the only places I've seen magpies off the top of my head.
Well, it's because you're not looking for them. So I'll show you what I mean. So, when was the last time you drove in your car?
Uh, Today,
Perfect. How many red cars did you see while you were on the road?
couldn't tell you.
Exactly, because you weren't looking for them, right?
Excuse me. Yes.
Now, if I said I'll give you $50 for every red car that you see the next time you go driving, are you going to be looking and counting for the red cars?
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works with communicating with your loved ones on the other side. If you don't look for the messages, if you don't understand how they communicate, then you're missing it. But that doesn't mean that they're not there. The communications are all around you. You just don't know what you're looking at. Pay,
Okay.
pay attention to the birds. Because do you know what birds mean?
No.
Birds have a connection to feathers. Feathers have a connection to angels. Angels show up when you are being protected and guided. So there's a song. Every little thing's gonna be all right. Don't worry about a thing. You ever hear that song?
Yeah.
What's the name of that song?
Couldn't tell you. I've heard it, but in
It's by
movies,
it's by Bob Marley, and the name of the song is called Three Little Birds. Because even Bob Marley knew. The lyrics go something like three little birds sitting outside my window singing the sweet song that every little thing is going to be all right. When birds and feathers show up around you, that's your loved one's way of putting you in that exact place at that exact moment at that exact time to give you the message that they're trying to give you. They don't speak speech. They speak signs and symbols. So there is no such thing as fluke, random, or chance in this universe. There isn't. You know the word coincidence that people say means fluke, random, or chance?
yeah,
Let's break it down. What does co mean?
together.
Mm-hmm. What's an incident
Uh, like a situation or accident,
or a happening?
or yeah,
So together happenings equals fluke, random, or chance?
no,
Together happenings are your loved one's way of loving you and guiding you towards what you have asked for and letting you know that they are with you every step of the way. Watch for the coincidences. Watch for the synchronicities and the signs and the symbols. You have two choices. You can grieve the fact that he's not here, or you can start learning his language and feeling his presence. Because I want you to think of your son now as the dust in the sunshine. And what I mean by that is I want you to think about a beam of sunshine shining through your window. Okay? When that sunshine's shining through your window, you can see all the particles of the dust in the sunshine, right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
fascinating sometimes. And as a single or as a mom, it's like frustrating. It's like, I just freaking dusted in here. Where did that all come from? But anyway, so when the sunshine is not there, can you see the dust?
no,
But does that mean that the dust isn't there?
no,
It's still there. It's
yes,
just that our physical eyes can only see a very small percentage of what is actually in front of us. Your son is still with you. It's just that his soul vibrates so fast and so high now that he's invisible. The faster energy vibrates, the more invisible it becomes to the naked eye. Just like the blades of a fan, when those suckers get going around really fast, you can see right through them. He's just invisible. I think he brought you here today because he said, Daddy, stop grieving. Start learning my language so that you can feel my presence because you can't grieve and be excited about me actually still being here at the exact same time.
yeah.
He keeps saying, "Do you see how handsome my daddy is? Do you see how handsome my daddy is?" And I'm like, "I can't see him, honey. He doesn't have his camera on." He's like, "He's handsome." And he's showing me something about, I don't know if you have just a little bit of facial hair here or something, but he's showing me like a little bit of scruff.
Got like a 5 day scruff on right now. That's about
I'm
it.
telling you, because he's right beside you. Do you understand that? I
Yeah,
can't know that, James. Your son
I
is
know.
safe. He's safe and at peace, and he is not just up in heaven. He is right here in front of your eyes, trying to communicate with you every day, sending you signs and symbols that he is with you, actively loving you, just in a different way. He's also making his brother's toys go off, he said. I can hear them in the background going off when everyone's sleeping.
No. No.
Why did he give him a little suitcase? Are you guys going somewhere?
No.
He gave your son a little suitcase.
uh, we're going on a road trip on like a day trip on Thursday to like unite like to the States.
That's
Sorry, when you
interesting.
say suitcase, I think like physically a suitcase. I'm like, that's why it takes me a second.
You're using a suitcase right now?
No, we're not using. It's just a day trip. Sorry.
Got
Um,
you. But
unless the only other reference, like I don't use a suitcase, but like when I go away for work, it's overnight. I use like a gym bag as a suitcase. I guess you can compare it. That's the only thing I could think of.
no, he gave it to your son.
Oh,
So
my son.
yes. He gave your son a little mini suitcase and I can feel like you're going on a trip. So if you're going on a road trip and which you wouldn't need to pack a suitcase for, as soon as you
No.
said, "Well, we wouldn't need a suitcase for that," he said, "Psh, I know what I'm talking about, Dad." And I saw him pulling out like coloring books and crayons and snacks, and he's like talking about packing a little suitcase thing for your son to have things to do on the road trip.
Oh, yeah. He usually likes to bring items, obviously, on a road trip to keep him occupied, whether it's his laptop, sorry, iPad or other things. That's the only. Sorry, I just
It's okay.
million things that's going through my mind.
Just keep that back there because spirit sometimes blows my mind with these types of validations. Last week, literally, a lady came to this group and she just wanted to know how her friend was that she hadn't talked to in a very long time and had passed away a very long time ago. She just wanted to know if he was okay. And that soul came through to give her messages to give to his kids. And she's like, "I don't talk to them. I haven't talked to them in years." And I said to her, then, I'm like, when spirit gives you a message, they're probably going to line you up with them. You watch. And
Yeah.
literally 2 days later, that guy's son butt dialed her and they had a conversation. She wrote, if you go onto my YouTube channel and you look at the last messages from Spirit that I uploaded, she literally commented on there. 2 days later, he butt dialed me. Spirit will give you a message like that so that when it happens, you will feel their presence because it becomes mathematically impossible to be fluke, random, or chance.
Yeah. I
It also feels like you could be taking them with you on your next road trip. When you said that you go away for work, it feels like there is a possibility of you being able to take them with you on a work trip or on a plane trip.
my family.
Yes.
No, they can't because I work on trains. Like I move cargo. So unfortunately, they can't. I wish they could. My son's obsessed with it, but unfortunately, they wouldn't be able to. I know my son would love to.
Never underestimate the power of spirit. I don't know how to understand that because I don't know all. So they can only show me what's in my library, right? So if I don't have your
Mhm.
job in my library here, it's hard for me
Yeah.
to explain something I have no experience with whatsoever. But what I do know is that they're lining something up for you guys to take a trip together. And
Oh,
go
unless
ahead.
it's the holiday train. Like so, my work travel. I don't. You would see it in Calgary, I imagine. The CP holiday train.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're hopefully going on. Like it's just like a short ride. Like on
No,
that would be the only thing on for work. And that's
it's interesting. Two things. That it could be partly that because it's kind of work, but I'm also seeing you on a plane.
oh, I wish, but
Exactly. Exactly. Now this is where your uncle and your grandma are stepping forward and saying, "Listen, how are you going to know with mathematical certainty that they are here if you don't ask for something that you couldn't get without their help?" If you thank them and say, "Okay, thank you for sending us a family vacation because you deserve one." And again, he shows me thoughts, something you've been thinking about, right?
yeah,
So if you say to them, "All right, thank you for lining it up for me. Bring me a deal. Give me the money to do it. Give me a big deal on a hotel and tickets or whatever. Get me the time off work. You line it up. Bring me the money to go and the resources to go, and I will know with absolute certainty that you are still here because it will be mathematically impossible to be fluke, random, or chance if it just shows up right after I've asked you."
yeah,
It's funny because Christina's up here and I've been reading for her for a while. And that beautiful, cute little boy there, that's her
yeah.
son who passed away at 18 months. And he delivered a message like that to her one time. He's like, "Mommy, we're going to a baseball game." And she's like, "I don't do baseball." Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, "He's going to a baseball game. He's like giving you tickets to a baseball game." And then it was like a week later, her coworker comes up and knocks on her window and is like, "Hey, you want tickets to a baseball game?"
No,
Spirit can use their energy to put you in the right place at the right moment at the right time to receive what you've asked for. But you got to ask and then you receive. And when you do that, you will feel their presence. It's not the same as when they were here in the physical reality because you can't touch them and speak, you know what I mean? But it's
yeah,
better than being dead. It's kind of like if your loved ones picked up and moved to Germany and couldn't come back, would you be like, "Well, they're dead and gone to me"? Or would you learn a new way to communicate?
yeah. I get
Why
what
does
you're saying.
why does he
Sorry.
keep saying that's okay? Why does he keep saying happy birthday, dad?
My birthday was in July. Um,
You know why? Because that was a hard day for you, it feels like.
I turned 40. I
Well,
don't know
they
if that's
said happy birthday, dad, and they oh, that's kind of funny. Your uncle, you said I turned 40 and he threw you the roll of toilet paper, you know, that over the hill thing. But
no,
it's some see, you can't you can't mistake their humor. So if somebody was kind of sarcastic in here in the physical world, their humor comes through very sarcastic. Their personality is the thing that comes through the most.
no, that
What
would
they
be him. My
what he
uncle.
did was he put the white blanket over your shoulders and he's like, there, boy. We were there with you on your birthday. I know it was hard. Such a hard day." Like, why is it a hard day? And you said, "I turned 40." And then I felt him start laughing and threw the toilet paper at you.
Yeah, he was the sarcastic one of the family.
Did he smoke as well? Because I can smell cigarette smoke around him.
Did he? Yes.
Another reason why he's proud of you for quitting.
Hmm. Yeah, he smoked and then I think he quit and then he started back up when he got sick or something. But yes, he did smoke. That I know. I don't know on or off or anything, but that I can confirm.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Because he's like, "What the heck is this? I quit smoking and then they're going to kill me anyway? Screw that. Give me my cigarettes."
Yeah. Excuse me.
Uh, Just know how much they love you. They're very proud of you and they want to continue to be a part of your life. They don't have to be dead. All you have to do is remind yourself that they're invisible, they're still around you, and tell them specifically to send you signs and symbols. Pay attention to the synchronicities and the coincidences that are around you. And every time you experience one of those coincidences, I never want you to hear fluke, random, or chance the same ever again. I want you to understand those are together happenings. Does that make sense?
Oh, for sure, it makes sense.
They're pulling their energy back, and your uncle just, no, well, it's not your uncle. It was your grandma. She said, and you need to get some new jeans. Okay. Do you need new jeans? Did you outgrow them? What does that mean?
Uh, I think there's a hole in my pocket on my jeans that I usually wear.
See, they don't miss it. I'm telling you. She's like, last thing, get some new freaking jeans.
Yeah,
She's very proper, isn't she?
yeah,
Your
she was.
grandma?
From what I remember, yes.
This is what I mean. Their personality comes through loud and clear. Please know they're all together on the other side, loving you and guiding you every step of the way. Most importantly, trying to teach you their language so that you can get up every day with the expectation to get a sign and a symbol and communication from them so that you can continue to feel their presence in your life every single day. You don't have to get up grieving their absence every single day. If you do that, then they have to kind of stay back and love from a distance. Because if you are grieving really badly and they get too close to you, you remember them and think of them. And if you're remembering and thinking of them as being dead, then that just brings you pain. So it's kind of like if you haven't eaten for a week and then your next door neighbor's cooking your favorite food and you can't have any, is that going to make you feel good or is that going to give you tummy pains?
Stomach pains.
So if you're massively grieving somebody like that, they can't get too close to you because then you will smell their presence. You will remind yourself they're dead and it will hurt you. So they have to love from a distance. They have to stay back a bit. But when you talk to them every day and you remember that they're still with you and you recognize their signs and symbols and you give them things to do, put them in charge of things. Say, all right, uncle. For example, uncle's in charge of the vacation. You said we're going on a vacation and you're giving baby a suitcase and everything. So make it happen. I can't wait to see how this is going to happen. And when it does, you will never feel like he's dead again. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Good. They're pulling their energy back, hon. I hope that that was helpful.
Yes, it was.
Awesome.
It's very helpful.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to switch over to Christina now, but you don't have to go anywhere. You can continue to watch if you want.
All right. Thank you very much, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Christina, how are you, my friend?
I'm okay.
Isn't that funny how your little baseball ticket stories come out?
Yeah, but if he really doesn't believe it, like all you have to do is ask. Because Sharif asked for that PS5 and he brought it to his brother.
Oh, yeah, that too.
We
Huh.
felt his presence for sure last year for Christmas.
Okay, so Timmy is like jumping up and down, very excited about something. Hold on. Why is he jumping up and down like that? Um, do you have a focus today, hun?
No, but I have an idea of why he's jumping up and down.
Why?
Well, because last night I was playing my bingo game online. You don't win real money or anything, but I was like, Timmy, help mommy. I always ask him like cuz you can collect these animals. They land on the card and you can collect the animals and stuff. It's live play bingo. And last night I was like, Timmy, help mommy catch the animals. I said, and make it even better. Let's get me a jackpot. And I got a jackpot. And then I was like, I've never gotten the jackpot twice in one round at the same time in one round. And I am not even joking. I played the first hour and then I was gonna uh stop. And then I was like, you know what? I'll play a couple more rounds of the next hour. And I got two jackpots in one round.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about. You see what I mean, James? When you ask and then you receive, it becomes mathematically impossible to be fluke, random, or chance. I am so glad you had. No wonder. That's exactly. He's like, yeah!
Yeah,
Like,
I
why are
jumped
we
up
so
and down and I was
excited?
like, thank you, Timmy.
I love
Yeah, it was
that.
exciting. I was in tears actually.
This is what I mean. He loved every second of that. He's so excited for Halloween. All I'm seeing is Halloween stuff because this is such a young soul. Did you guys carve pumpkins already? Because he's showing me the pumpkins.
No, we haven't done it yet, but we
Have you?
do have two pumpkins to do it.
I was going to say either have you been talking about it or you went shopping for the pumpkins or what? Because he's like giving you pumpkins.
Uh-huh.
Is this for the weekend? You're saving them for the weekend?
Possibly.
He's like putting down the newspaper all over the floor. Oh, just know that he's going to be there with you guys, cutting them out. Okay, slow this down, slow this down. Oh, I know what he's showing me. He's going trick or treating with you guys. Are you going with your friend? I'm seeing you trick or treating. He's going with some people trick or treating, and I can see he's looking at the pumpkins. Like he's mesmerized by all the pumpkins. He's showing me flashing through my eyes of like all these different shapes and cutouts and things like that. And I can just feel him getting so excited about the pumpkins. So I think as you are going out, are you going out with your friend?
We haven't decided yet, but she said we're more than welcome to go with them.
Even if you go for a little while, it's so cute because I can hear your son going, please, mommy, please, 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 mommy. If he was still here, you'd be trick or treating, right?
Yes.
He's like, where do you think we're going? He gets to be Casper this year and every year. It's his permanent costume. Okay, slow this down. Did Sharif just get like a really good grade or mark or something on a test? Because he's showing me the test on the fridge, which is my symbol for getting a really good grade, a really good mark, an achievement on something, but it feels like on a test or something.
Well, he didn't get I got the report like the halfway mark report, and he's doing good in English. He has like an 88. He's doing good in some, but he's struggling in a couple. But also, when everything happened with Timmy, family court had me do that whole mental evaluation on him and whatnot, and an evaluation overall, like a school evaluation kind of thing. And they did it in school recently, and he scored a lot higher than he did then. And she's like, that's probably because he had a lot going on then. So,
That's what
yeah,
he's talking about. He wants his
yeah.
brother to know how proud he is of him and you.
Oh, and the lady said that she's never seen a child his age have such a high reading level and spelling level. He did like really well, like where he could make a career out of it later on if in life if he wanted.
And when did you get this news?
Just yesterday, I think it was.
Do you see what I'm saying? Your loved ones are not missing a single thing. I read for you every single week, Christina. And yesterday you get this news of how great he's doing in certain aspects and how he's like and then you connect to me and Timmy's like he's doing amazing. Like do you see what I'm saying? Why would I say that today?
Yeah.
Because he's there with you. He was celebrating with you. And this is what I mean, James. I've been working with Christina for a good year, over a year now, and she's very fluent in speaking spirit. And so the more that you talk to them and recognize the signs and symbols when they come in and give them things to do, even if it's as simple as like, help me win this jackpot. Come on, we're doing it together. Then guess what? Boom, you win the jackpot. And these are ways that you experience their presence, albeit invisible presence, but their presence nonetheless. Aw, okay. Timmy just hugged you and like is jumping on your lap. Slow this down. just, I don't even know how to explain the feeling. I just see him sitting there with you. I feel the energy in the home and it feels warm. Oh, I know why. He just beat his chest with like this. He's like, Mama, I'm so freaking proud of you. It's not even funny. I'm so proud of you. Have you been in that house a year yet? I forgot all about it, but I'm like, what is this? Okay, let me say this better. He filled me with this extremely warm and comforting and just peaceful energy. And he's like, this is our home now. I'm so proud of my mama. I forgot all about the anxiety energy that you were in when I first met you. But how long have you been living in this house now?
I think we came in April.
So it hasn't even been a year yet.
No.
Do you remember what I said to you when you were worried about moving into a place because it would be too small for you guys? Do you remember? Not me. He's like, what do you mean you? I said it. Okay. Remember when your son said, Mom, you guys will be so much happier in a smaller place, in a peaceful small place in your own energy than living in a house that is full of this tension and anxiety?
Yeah.
He's so incredibly proud of you and loves being there with you. Are you thinking about baking? Why do I say it that way? Because he's like trying to teach you. It's what I feel like.
Doesn't
Like
need to teach me.
your grandma's stepping forward and is like, let's do this. And I'm like, what are we doing? And I heard we're baking, we're teaching to bake. And it's like, okay, what are you making?
Well, like I'm not making anything at the moment, but I've had the urge to want to bake stuff. And actually Mary text in a group text the other day asked if there's anything that me or Amy wanted for Christmas, and I was like, well, I don't have any like baking bowls or anything. And I was telling my mom, I was like, I wish I had them because I've been wanting to make like homemade cookies and stuff like that. And I want to try to make grandma's homemade cookies on my own because I've always had my mom there, but
She
I want
heard
to
you,
try to do it
sweetie.
on my own. So, but I don't have any baking like bowls and stuff to stir the stuff in and stuff.
The dollar store. Very cheap, very easy. It doesn't have to be expensive. It's funny because that's your grandma, because your grandma baked a lot, right?
Yeah.
And it's also because you're in warm, cozy energy right now. See, there's two basic states of being. Either think about a rabbit, okay? If a rabbit's being chased by a predator, is that rabbit going to be thinking about where's a good place to lay a nest and gathering materials for my nest and where I'm going to build this nest and the family I'm going to build and things like that? Is the rabbit thinking that if it's being chased by a predator?
No.
It's not thinking any of that. It's just in pure survival mode. But once we're comfortable and we're not threatened and we're not being chased anymore, once we get comfortable in our lives, which is the energy that Timmy was bringing forward about how warm and cozy and loving and nurturing your home feels like now. Now, once we're in that energy, now we're thinking about how to spruce up the place, how to make it even better. We're thinking about how to get our food and how to create. You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of two things going on. It is your desire to start baking is evidence of a good balance of energy in your home. And it's also your grandma there wanting to connect with you because when you do the things that they used to like to do, their soul shows up. Seriously, she said $4. That's all you need. $4. Go to the dollar store. She's very excited. And don't forget the raisins.
Oh no, grandma, nope. Not doing that.
As soon as she said it, with the question mark at the end, did you hear the question in my voice with the raisins? I'm like,
Yeah.
why are we saying it like that? That's why, because she's totally teasing you. I think she likes them. Because as soon
Yeah.
as you said, no, Grandma, we're not doing that, I could feel her laughing and go, well, I would do it. She's like, fine, chocolate it is.
Oh, Yeah, I was smelling like homemade chocolate chip cookies when I was actually waiting for you to log on.
Because your grandma's with you as well. She wanted a chance to come in and tell you how proud she is of you, what a great mom you are. And not just that, but she needs you to know that Sharif's success is direct evidence to how great of a mom you are. I want you to understand this because if he was still in survival mode, he could not have gotten those kinds of tests or marks on his test. He would not have such dramatic improvement there. You can only do that when you are comfortable and secure in that environment. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That is direct evidence to what an amazing mom you are. And so she wanted to come forward today and give you a pat on the back and tell you how just darn proud she is of you. And besides, she's working you up to doing pie. She keeps showing me pie. It's like
Yeah, you mentioned apple pie.
it's like she wants you to bring it for Christmas and blow everyone away. Don't even tell them that you baked it. And then see what they think of it and watch how much they love it. She's like, you
Yeah,
should do it.
actually last year I made like this cold like pumpkin like whip. I don't remember the name of it, but it was pretty good actually.
She wants you to do that again. Aw. Why do they keep giving you playing cards, honey? Cards. Is it playing cards? Or is
I
it
don't know.
tarot cards? Did you just
Yo,
buy tarot cards?
dude, shut up, man. I bought an Oracle deck of cards a while ago. And you know how Jesus came through my reading last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing, and this just goes to show you how much Jesus is real. Like I knew, but like other people might second guess it. But remember how I told you I was concerned about not understanding what I'm reading. So the
Yeah.
first day, Wednesday morning, I opened it up and I wasn't understanding it, but I just put it away and was like trying to think it through. So the next Thursday morning, I'm like, okay, Jesus, what do I need to read today? I opened up to the same thing and I'm like, Jesus, I just read this yesterday. And I closed it up and opened it up again. 3 times it opened back up to the same page. I said, okay, you want me to reread it? And then if I still don't understand it, like try to Google it so I can understand it. So if I don't understand something now, I just like Google to try to get a better understanding of it.
Yes.
I took the Oracle cards out the other day too, and I was like, okay, Jesus, what do I need to know today? And it actually, the 3 cards were basically talking about um was like going through an awakening and basically like my psychic abilities and all that stuff. It was weird.
Well, what was the Bible passage? Did you end up understanding it?
Not really.
Send it to me when we're done and I'll see what I can get from it. Because the reason why he keeps showing it to you, you did exactly what you need to do. You went looking for it, but what you can also do is say, Jesus, I need a clarifier. I see the message. Send me a different message that says it a little bit differently in a way that I will understand. And then watch for that to come in.
I
Now,
It's funny you say that because I was gonna message you and say, listen, but I didn't want to bother you, so I didn't.
Christina, you're never
Because I was
bothering
gonna
me.
ask you.
At worst case, you send me a message and it takes me a day or two to respond. That's worst case scenario. But you're never bothering me.
Yeah,
Now,
well,
if
I
you
heard it in my
text me,
head,
that's different.
just message you. And I'm like, no,
Yes.
I don't want to bother her.
Stop. Especially when it's stuff like this. I love to translate dreams. I love to translate messages from God. But it's not, see, here's the thing God's teaching you how to translate those messages.
Yeah.
And when he gives you a message and you don't understand, which is what you said last week, I feel like he's communicating me with me, but I don't always understand it. Then what he has to do is teach you how to understand it, which means you don't just go, oh, well, that didn't make sense, not doing that for a while. You go, okay, well, I'm going to look this up. What is the deeper meaning of this verse? I'm going to ask God for clarity. I'm going to ponder that in my day. I'm going to reach out until I do understand it. And then you will get the next message.
Maybe my problem is that maybe I'm not supposed to read the whole chapter because like some I've been like not reading just like a verse or two. I've been reading like the whole chapter and then I
Okay,
stop
gotcha.
at that chapter.
No. Okay, here's what you're missing. I just heard it in my head. It's just that's why I'm seeing cards as well. So for example, this card right now has many meanings to it, right? What
Yeah.
pops out at me is different for each person and situation. So when you open the Bible and you say, okay, God, give me a message that will help me today, and you open the Bible, point, open and point, look around that, read just around that area and look for what resonates with you. And sometimes you will be inspired to read the whole chapter, but oftentimes it's one phrase or it is one paragraph is the only
Oh,
thing that is what you are meant to see that day.
so look on both pages, skim like through and see what catches my eye.
You could if it takes that long. Usually, if you open the book and you just point,
Just yeah.
then you have a direction to look at so you don't have to read all of it. As soon as you start looking at, you'll be able to see right away, usually because in the Bible they have little titles at the top of the
Yeah.
paragraphs about kind of what it's about. So usually what I do is I kind of point at the page and then I kind of scan the page to see which one of those titles is resonating with me, and I read that, and I read the
Oh,
part that
okay.
resonates with me, and as soon as it starts to get cloudy or confusing, I put it away. You only extract the message that is meant for you that day. And I promise you, each time you do it, something else will pop out at you. No matter how many times I read the same verses again and again and again, I get a different piece of wisdom from it every time. It's kind of like when you watch the same movie over and over and over again. Oftentimes you will see things in that movie you didn't see the first 5 times you watched it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't
Okay,
have to
so
read the
that
whole
makes
darn
sense.
chapter. You have to just pick out what God is trying to say to you that is, reflecting in your life right now. Which piece of that information is resonating with you?
Okay, because the cards seem to, I understood those way better than I understood that whole entire chapter.
Yeah. I feel like you're being told to learn the cards right now, but not so much the oracle cards. It's the actual tarot.
Oh,
Only way you learn the actual tarot is by actually using them and doing them. And then, just like you did with the Bible, look it up on Google. Google it. Okay, I did a past, present, future reading. What does this card mean? The internet will tell you. It's a glorious tool these days. And after repetition so many times, kind of like your multiplication tables, after you do it so many times, it just sticks and you remember it forever.
uh-huh.
Hmm. But then it's funny because your grandma's like, but slow that down a little bit. Jesus is like pushing the cards over here. He's like, let's just stay with the Bible for a little bit here.
Well, I was just curious to see, like, I asked him, I'm like, give me three cards that's for me for right now. And then that came out, like,
Yeah. Because he will talk to you in any way he can that you will understand. Aw. All right, they're kind of pulling their energy back, hon. Just know that you're in a really good place right now. They are incredibly proud of you, and so am I. Especially with the quick reflection that they gave to me to where you were a year ago, I remember how tense and how, you know, painful of a place that you were in a year ago today. And so when you look at it from that perspective of where you are today, where Sharif is today, dang, girl. You are a true example of what is possible when you actively work on healing and thriving. Healing is not enough. You have to learn how to thrive with them, not without them. We never leave them behind. We just learn to communicate with them in a new way, and they always will show up. And I love that the first thing Timmy did was jump up and down and show me how happy and celebrating he was that you asked for him to help you and he did. You asked for him to help you again and he did. You asked God to give you a message. He did. He said, I don't understand. Give me another one. He gave you the same one 3 times. This is what I mean. Mathematically impossible to be fluke, random, or chance. Coincidence is together happenings, your loved ones, your guides, Jesus, God Himself, working together in our lives with us to guide us along our way towards what we've asked for. Beautiful. Aw. All right, hun. I hope that that was helpful.
It was, thank you.
You're
Because now
welcome.
I got a better understanding now. I
And
knew I was doing, I knew I should have just messaged you, because then you would have been like, well, you don't need to be reading this whole chapter. And I've been reading the whole chapter since I spoke to you, you
Sweetie,
know.
that's not an accident either. Again, there is no such thing as accidents. There is no such thing as fluke, random, or chance. The fact that you read the whole chapter tells me that that chapter is going to be important in your life many different ways over the coming years. There is no such thing as fluke, random, or chance. It's just that you have to digest it in small portions. You can't go into a new restaurant and taste every dish on the menu at the same time. Your body physically cannot do that. Your soul cannot physically process the information coming through in one giant download either. It is an important chapter to you. That's why it has been spiritually emphasized 3 times. It's just that you have to digest each little piece at a time. Make sense?
Yeah. I mean, but that was all in one day. That was the first day. I mean, I opened it up 3 times after.
God's just showing off, making a point. They do that
And
all
he's
the
like,
time.
yeah, you had it yesterday, but you didn't comprehend it.
But you're going to. He was just inspiring you to reach out for help to understand the passage, because had he only showed it to you once, then you wouldn't have reached out for help to understand the passage. When God really wants to send you a message, He will continue to send it until you can validate it, whatever way you need to do that. And if you have asked for clarity and you didn't get the right answer, He'll continue to send it until you get the right answer. Once you have clarity and understanding on that, it's like you graduate. It's like the boss man at the end of every video game. If he kills you, you go back to the beginning and you do it again. The only way you get to the next level is by beating that boss guy.
Yeah. I just gotta find the one
Ask God to help you. He will.
so I can send it to you, because I've done a different passage every day. Well, like after the first 2 days, I should say, because Wednesday and Thursday, he had me reading the same passage.
I can't wait. He'll show you. You'll find it. I have no doubt.
So, thank you.
All right, guys. Have an amazing rest of your night.
You too.
Take care.
Bye.